Welcome to this edition of BSW Tech Dive. I am John Lynch, Director of Business Development for Broadcast Supply Worldwide, BSWUSA.com. And our topic is KYBIO, new entry from Worldcast Corporation. And my guest is Cyrus Hubel, who's the solutions architect for Worldcast. All right, first of all, what does a solutions architect do?
Well, solution architect is going to be design the solution. So a product like KYBIO, you need a little bit of help to have someone help you design how it's going to work for you.
Or in my case, need a lot of help. But that's why we
Right.
had to work with the
That's right.
engineering staffs
That's
of
right.
the broadcasters around the country and around the world. Now,
That's right.
KYBIO is a network management system, but can you get a little bit more detailed about what kinds of things is it doing? And then maybe we get into what kinds of things it's not doing. But
Absolutely.
go ahead.
Absolutely. Happy to do that, John. So KYBIO, as you mentioned, is an NMS. We call it an NMS, Network Management System. And what really it's going to be doing is monitoring your station, the equipment at your station, to make sure everything's working properly. We do this by getting alarms and data from the different pieces of equipment at your station, whether they be transmitters, encoders, network switches, even. So any device that a radio station, TV station, network operations facility, broadcasters, the equipment that runs inside their facilities, we can monitor with KYBIO to create dashboards to let the operations know that everything is working as it should. That's
More
what it is
than
in a nutshell.
more than just monitoring like a transmitter site or something of that nature. You're covering the whole gamut of. Now, is this both for radio and television?
Yes, sir. In fact, we have customers that are, or the actual end broadcasters, whether they be, transmission for radio or television. We have other customers that are involved just in the transport, maybe from transporting, these signals from some source to the end destination. And we've also had customers that use KYBIO to monitor IT equipment, just their servers or their network switches. So it can be used in a variety of ways.
And it's done by subscription.
Yes, sir. So we do offer both a permanent license option, but also as a service, which is quite popular because sometimes these types of systems can involve some upfront investment or hardware that they would want to purchase. And so we do have a SaaS solution, which is offering a nice, easy monthly payment where then WorldCast will handle all of the logistics for that KYBIO system. So we will host the server for the station. We will help with the configuration and setup. And a small team without maybe any of their own, IT or developers can install a KYBIO system relatively easily and painlessly and for a very affordable price.
So, is there no hardware going to the end user? Everything is done remotely, so to speak.
Yes, sir. It's all done in the cloud. So the KBO server is actually running in a data center, and we can install. There's a piece of the KBO called an EdBot that gets installed locally at the station, and it can install on a PC. It can install on a computer that they have there at the station, and it can then do the monitoring of the equipment there at that facility, and then it uploads the what it learns to the cloud server. So what's nice is that the customers, the end user for this, can have a single interface that they can reach to anywhere they have internet, and they can see the health of their station. So if they're at the station, they can see the transmitters are all working the way that they should. Or even if they're at home, they can load up the same page and see the real-time live status of their network.
So, they have this coverage, shall we say, of any of the equipment that's working in their system, regardless of who manufactured it.
That's exactly it. So we like to use a fancy term of that we are vendor agnostic, and all that means is that our KBO system can talk to equipment of any type of manufacturer. We don't just monitor our own WorldCast things. We can monitor equipment from a variety of vendors throughout the broadcast industry. And we have over 500 drivers right now that are in that library. and they cover, I would say, most of the equipment that you're going to find out there in the industry.
So let's talk about it a little bit more specifically the types of gear that you would be monitoring. Obviously, transmitter sites, obviously,
Hmm.
codecs, which become
Hmm.
really critical in remote season and sports times and things of that nature. But what
Hmm.
else would you be monitoring?
Oh, you can think about the entire chain from the source to the end.
Like the
So we
console?
have some. It could even be equipment in the studio.
Okay.
If there's a remote interface that has some alarms and ways to get status from that. A very common ones though for transmission and radio and TV stations might be satellite receivers. So we might be microwave links, that are transporting that audio or that video feed to the site. It could be various sound processors that we have drivers for. It could be any type of encoding, RDS encoders. Could be, you name it, and we probably have a driver already for it.
Oh, also, we're dealing in an industry where, when I first started in the industry, we had plenty of chief engineers and assistant engineers and people doing all of this work. And now the industry just has evolved to where there are much fewer people involved from a technical standpoint. So this sounds like a terrific tool for an engineer to keep track of what all is going on in the station, not just, like I said, transmitter or whatever.
That's exactly it. Is that this is a tool that's going to allow a station, perhaps even a station that doesn't have a large engineering maintenance staff, maybe a very minimal number of people that can have the time to monitor all of these things. And so KBO can do that monitoring for you 24/7 and alert you if there's anything wrong that can then be dealt with. So it is a great tool for a team that doesn't have necessarily the engineering resources that they used to.
Setting up a KIBIO operation for a typical station, let's say they've got, three transmitters and they've got a couple of studios and things of that nature. Is that something the engineer does? Is that something that you do? How does that happen?
It's a good question. So it's very easy to do. It does not even have to be an engineer. So when they set up a
Wait a minute.
new
Wait a minute.
KBO,
You're saying I could do this?
even you could
That
start
might be a little excessive.
to do it. So. And that's why what we built it with that in mind is that we want to make it easy to set up. Now, of course, people want to know, but what if I can't figure it out? What if I need some help? And that's where, team people like myself are here all the time to help, customers get it set up. It's a step-by-step process that we give people exactly how to do it. So it does not require any programming ability, does not require any advanced engineering degrees. Very easy to set up.
And once it's set up, what's it telling me or the engineer or whatever? Is it, and do I have the ability to remotely correct something, or does it just tell me, hey, I need to get out to the transmitter site?
Exactly. It's another good question. It's going to tell you anything that's not working properly on that equipment. And it's going to give you an interface so that I can just click a button and link right to that device itself to correct any issues that might have been notified about. So if I have a reflected power warning, or I've got a low power warning, or I've got a problem with the fans, or there is a power issue with one of the power supplies, these kinds of things, I could get an email alert. I might get it on my phone or at my desk. I log into KIBIO. I see exactly the problem, and there's a button there that will allow me to remote into that equipment and see it right away to correct any problems.
Correct it through KIBIO, whatever is going on or not going on at whatever site is monitoring at
It's
the time.
true. You
Okay.
have two options. We
All right.
can either correct things directly through KIBIO, or we'll give you a link so you can go look at that device on its own outside of KIBIO.
How small of a system is KIBIO? How big of a system is KIBIO?
Good question. It can be as small as you need or as large as you need. Now, how could that possibly be? Well, the answer is because this is software, and we're running this now. I will try to stay out of the technical weeds, but we're running this in a virtualized way so that the system will scale depending on the need. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
We can have a small station with only a single transmitter. We could have a station that has multiple sites with multiple transmitters and hundreds of pieces of equipment. And we support customers of both types.
I want to let the audience know that, hey, there's a lot of detail that I've gone through. Not that I understood everything, of course, but went through that's on the BSW website on KYBIO. KYBIO is the spelling of it. And so you get main features and specifications on there. It takes up 3 pages by itself. So there's a lot of information there at bswusa.com to be able to help you determine where you want to go. And by the way, that's the other question is a customer looking to do KYBIO, how do they decide? What do they need?
Well, another good question. So we're going to try to make that easy for you. They're going to sign up, like you mentioned. They can get all the information they need from the BSW website, and that's really all they need to get started with. Because the server itself is going to be spun up in the cloud in an automated way. You're going to get the instructions and a download link to get started, and everything that you need to do, you can do right away on your own from the beginning. So there's really all you need is just a computer to get started at the BSW site.
Excellent information. Thank you very much for the visit, Cyrus. It's been a pleasure to have this chat and learn more about KYBIO, KYBIO, from WorldCast Systems. And Cyrus, our guest, the solutions architect for WorldCast around the world. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of BSW Tech Dive. I'm John Lynch, Director of Business Development here at bswusa.com. We'll see you next time.